Hi everyone, how are you? It's Saturday. We are lucky that we have finally passed the dark days and it's beautiful and sunny out. We're actually now having the opposite where it's really hot and sunny, which is great for recording videos. Not so great for running, which I would like to do today, so I need to wait for it to cool down. And it's not super great for photography, and I have a bunch of things to photograph. So anyway, but I'm not going to complain because it's awesome that it's nice out. So I got a doll in the mail, and I thought we would do an unboxing video and talk about this type of doll. I've been wanting to get one for a while to customize, and so I think I'm going to make a customization video of this doll. So I don't know how much I'm going to get started on it today because I have a lot of other stuff going on. I didn't realize they were quite so tiny. So the doll is a Dollcena, I guess is how you pronounce it. And it's a tiny little doll. I'm assuming about the size of a petite Blythe. I believe they're Disney dolls, so they're always kind of like a Disney theme. I picked this Pirates one just because it was the cheapest one I could find. I got it on eBay. There's quite a few on there. I think I paid around $30. So I thought let's unbox this little doll and see what we need to do to customize it. It seems like it's really glued on there. I see some tape. You can see that the eyes are going up and down just like the petite dolls do. So I'm assuming it's going to be pretty similar to a petite. Her outfit's pretty cute. I probably will not leave her as a pirate. She's got a little tiny stand, which is super cute. It's in the shape of a heart. I'm wondering what the hair is like because I really don't like this color, and I'm thinking maybe a reroot is in order. I do like to do, well, I don't like to do reroots on any dolls, but I'm willing to do them on little dolls because it doesn't take as long. I really like these little leather boots, even though, wow, they're like destroyed. I don't know if you can see that, but I liked them until they fell apart in my hand. So much for that. They just disintegrated. I don't know if you can see that. They just completely disintegrated. So never mind on the boots. That's kind of a bummer. They were cute. I wasn't planning on using the clothes necessarily, but I also didn't expect them to just kind of fall apart. Very strange. Okay, so let's look at the rest of her. Looks like this headband is attached, so let's cut that off. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of this hair. I don't really like the color or how frizzy it is, so it's probably gonna have to go. The only other thing in the box was looks like a pirate flag. Let's look at it. It says Disney on it, like I said. It's real cheapy, and the clothing and things obviously looked better in the box than they are. So let's just get it off of her. How about that? So there she is. Again, like I said, not much different than a petite. She's got cute little ears. I do like that. Let's see if we can take her apart and think about her hair here. I'm not sure if my regular screwdriver is going to go down inside there. Ooh, it does. Let me grab the garbage and clean up this weird mess from the shoes. Okay. So there's the screw, it just came out. So let's see what we have to do to get her head off. I don't know if there's another screw inside. I hear some crackling. That side just popped. I really don't like this hair. It has kind of a weird smell. Not like chemical, but almost like old. So it makes me wonder if maybe she was stored somewhere that kind of caused the boots to do that, as well as her hair to smell kind of funny. And it feels very dry and scratchy. Since I've never worked with one of these dolls, I don't want to break her, but that her body just popped out. Looks like this side is what's stuck. There we go. All right, so the hair was not attached with a screw or anything, and it looks just like any other doll as far as plugs, but I guess it is pretty flexible. It doesn't come off like the petite, so it might be a little bit harder to reroute it, but I'm going to try because I really don't like the hair. The plate is much shorter. It doesn't have as high of a forehead. The body looks really similar to a petite, and you have the same kind of eyes for the most part. So I'm not really sure if I'm going to use the mechanism that comes with her, or if I'm just going to replace it with eyes that don't move. I'm not a huge fan of the eyes that go up and down anyway. If they were moving side to side, maybe, but I might be able to use it. I'm not sure. So why don't we remove the hair, and we'll see, get out some colors and think about what we could use for that. And maybe do a little bit of carving on her for this first video. I probably won't finish her in this video, but maybe we'll do a couple parts. So let's get started on her and see how far we get today. Okay, so I gathered some mohair scraps that I have, and I'm thinking about, actually not this red, but I love all these pastel colors, and I know that I don't have, maybe this blue I probably have enough of to reroute her hair, but I really like this color and I don't think it's going to be enough. So I'm thinking I'm going to do maybe a combination, or even just mix in all of them and do kind of a rainbow. So I think that would be really pretty. So I'm going to do that. I'm not going to have to order anything. But first we need to get this hair out. And so the first thing I'm going to do is cut off all the hair. Unfortunately, the the way that this little scalp is made, it's very deep, and I'm not really sure how easily I'm going to be able to get in there and get it out, so I will just have to see how it goes. The tool that I used to use to kind of scrape that out, I also have broken, so it might be a little bit harder. But let's give it a go. So I have this little seam ripper that I thought might work. Basically, once you kind of break, and it is a little bit flexible, so I'm kind of pushing the scalp up. Once you kind of start breaking the line of, the way that they root the hair is it's kind of like a chain. And so once you kind of break that chain, it's easier to pull the hair out. And so we're just going to try with this for a while and see how much we can get out. It's definitely not a fast process to remove the hair, but if you're doing like a Monster High doll, it's even harder because you don't have the scalp off. You just have a tiny hole to be scraping and working in. So this doesn't seem like it's going to be too bad. And if it's your first time wanting to do a reroot on a doll, doing one of these little ones is nice because, as I said, it doesn't take as long, and that makes it really nice. So let's just work on this and we'll see how far we can get with removing this hair. So the thing you want to be most careful about when you are doing a reroot on a doll is the part here in the middle, this line. When the factory roots the hair in the doll, they root it really close together there so that you don't see a lot of scalp. And the problem with that is it can sort of break the plastic, and if you root too much in there, you'll just split the plastic and you'll get a big split in your doll's scalp. So you definitely want to be careful when you're rooting it, but also when you're kind of pulling the hair out, you want to not damage it as much as possible. So the problem with this scalp is it's easy to remove what's there that we can see, but the hair is rooted up and under, and so I'm using a broken piece of a wood tool. This is from a wood carving tool, to kind of scrape in there, and this is how you get the Monster High doll hair out with one of these tools, and I think that's how I broke this tool. So if you scrape the hair with this tool, it will sort of cut it and bring it out. So, and if you can pull it out the front, you can do that too. But that's going to be the hard part with getting all the hair out of this doll, as well as rooting it, that it's up and under that ridge in there. You might also want to try grabbing some tweezers and pulling it. A lot of times it will come out with tweezers on the front side, but again, with that hairline or the part, you just want to be careful not to pull too hard and rip anything. Okay, so I've got all the hair out. There's a tiny bit that I wasn't able to get out that was really far up under that ridge. It shouldn't really matter though once we start rooting it and it's down there on that hairline, so it's not going to make too big of a deal. So the first thing you want to do when rerooting a doll is paint the scalp. So you can see that the scalp is painted this yellowish color, which sort of matched the hair she originally came with. I don't have an exact match to the colors that we're going to root it, so I was going to lighten this blue up a little bit with some white. It doesn't have to be exact, and if you don't have a color to match the hair you're going to do, another option would be to just paint the scalp like a skin color, and that would be okay too if all else fails. But you do kind of want the scalp to match the hair as much as possible, and that's because even if you root the hair really close together, you're going to see some of the scalp peeking through, and if you have really drastically different colors, it is going to matter. So it doesn't take a lot of paint to do this, but it does usually take a couple layers. So we're going to mix some of this together and see what color we get, and then we'll probably have to paint it a couple of times, but it doesn't have to be really perfect. So that's kind of the color that I'm going for, so I think that will work. And then when you paint it, you just want to paint where the original line is. You don't want to go all the way down. You want to leave that skin color down there a little bit. And you can use paint remover to remove that yellow, and it might have been a better idea to do that just because this color is so much lighter. But I'm not going to worry about it. I think a couple layers of this blue and it will be fine. Alright, so we'll let that dry and then we'll paint it one more time and see if that covers it up pretty good. While I'm waiting for that scalp to dry, I've turned on my light to get a better look at the faceplate. I'm not sure if you can see on the camera, but there's kind of like a line around the face where it's pinker on the outside and more of a flesh color on the inside, which is kind of odd. I'm not quite sure how much plastic I have to work with. The features of this doll are not very defined, so I don't know how much I can work with the mouth because she really doesn't have much of a mouth. I don't know how well you can see. And it's a little tiny nose, which I kind of like, but the mouth really could use some work. I'm just afraid because I don't know how much plastic is there. So I think we're gonna start slowly. I don't really have a thought in mind of what I want her to look like. I usually like to draw, I don't know where my pencil went. I like to draw on there kind of some thoughts. Let me see if I can find my pencil. And I'd like to get some sandpaper here and see what's going on with this difference in color. I can't tell if it is like a flaw or if it's paint or if it's supposed to be that way. I don't know. It's very strange. When I sand it, it doesn't seem to take off the pinker part, so it looks like it's actually the way the plastic is made. She doesn't have paint on her face or makeup like Blythe dolls do, so it feels a lot like just raw plastic. So I don't know about that. It does get a little bit smoother, but it doesn't seem like the color changes at all. So I'd kind of like to just do something simple so that we can just kind of test the plastic. Her kind of natural lip line is right there. So let's see if we can give her a chin maybe a little bit, and some lips. The hardest part on these little dolls is being able to see and be able to show you what I'm doing without putting my head in front of the camera. So I can't tell if that's happening. So we'll just kind of do some marks to get started. I'm going to try using my Dremel. I don't know. I don't know if the tool that I have on there, this one, which I use mostly for Blythe, is going to be too fat. So let's just see. So this doll is going to take a lot more building than Blythe because there are not guides like lips and a chin like there is on Blythe. So this doll is definitely more of like a blank slate, which is kind of cool. But the hard part is that she's also very tiny. Okay, so for today I'm going to stop and I will show you some updated progress of her once I get farther along. It's going to be kind of a slow process and I need to get much closer to the faceplate. So I'm going to continue painting the scalp in layers until it's good and working on her little face. And I'll update you hopefully tomorrow on her progress. And until then, thank you as always for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe and check back with me for my next video for part 2 of making this Dollcena doll.